Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Nonfiction Summary. Today we are going to have a look at Unwinding Anxiety by Judson Brewer. Enjoy the video and don't forget to leave a like and tell us your opinion about the book in the comments section. We summarize the book in 7 steps to help you get rid of anxiety. Let's start. 1. Worry and anxiety are addicting. In reality, addiction permeates every aspect of our life. Consider the additional pair of shoes you simply had to have despite your limited budget. Worry is also an addiction, a habit we can't break even though it makes us more anxious and is bad for our health. Worrying is seductive because it seems like you're working toward a solution. But most of the time, you're just wasting your time. Worrying only serves to divert your attention away from the initial unpleasant feeling. Your brain perceives the diversion as more gratifying than the difficult feelings because it momentarily dulls them. 2. Breaking bad habits requires understanding the psychology behind them. Mapping your own habit loops is the first step in understanding your own anxiety. What kinds of circumstances result in anxiety or other distressing emotions? And which activities has your brain developed a response to in order to calm or divert you? What effect do these actions have? As many habit loops as you can come up with should be recorded. This process of learning can be really thrilling. But resist the temptation to try to correct and alter your habit loops right away. Unfortunately, the desire to make repairs and changes tends to spiral into habit. Self-help book addiction results from this. Our minds are profoundly entrenched with habits. You'll need to alter your perspective on things in order to change them. 3. The key to breaking anxious habit loops is mindfulness. Our brains are adept at programming actions into our muscle memory so that we can carry them out automatically. In fact, according to a 2010 Harvard University research, we live on autopilot about 50% of the time. This can be advantageous, but it also implies that we become unaware of our own cognitive processes. Because we are unaware that negative habit loops are taking place, we are unable to break them. Ben, how can we stop this harmful cycle? Reduce your time on automatic pilot as one of the greatest strategies. Mindfulness is the process of becoming aware of our thoughts. It just involves learning to become conscious of our thoughts. The key to breaking your own habit cycles and untangling your worry will be mindfulness training. Now, let's talk about how that operates. 4. Without altering how we view incentives, we cannot modify our habits. Our brains become fixated on these antiquated beliefs about how rewarding certain acts are when we go through life on autopilot. However, when we practice mindfulness in our daily activities, we have the chance to determine what the true rewards are right now. Consider asking yourself, what am I getting out of this? If you see yourself engaging in a repetitive activity, such as smoking or procrastinating, you'll probably discover that the rewarding action isn't all that nice when you concentrate on the real experience. That will make it much simpler to break the habit right away. The habit becomes stronger the reward. The brain will be less likely to want to engage in a behavior if it finds that it isn't as rewarding as it initially believed. Keep in mind that this is not a mental workout. Not trying to argue yourself out of doing something you want is the key. Instead, it involves monitoring the situation as it really is and how the behaviors feel. It's about realizing that the fun might have been a mirage. 5. Develop a sympathetic attitude. The practice of concentrating on our habit loops can be really uncomfortable. After all, we've spent years attempting to dull and divert ourselves from unpleasant emotions. We are currently paying close attention to them and analyzing them under a microscope. If you believe that you are not making any progress, it may be even more frustrating. You know your actions don't actually lead to rewards, after all. Why do you still indulge in them, then? Although this impatience is normal, it is not productive. You might have been stuck in these habit loops for years. You can't expect them to vanish in an instant. Many of us are accustomed to brutally condemning ourselves in an effort to alter our behavior. This automatically develops into a habit loop. As you attempt to break your habits, the critical loop will probably become active. You can tell yourself things like, I'm such a loser, I can't change, or this is never going to work. Sadly, these loops will only serve to keep you in a rut. You get caught in a loop of hopelessness and self-loathing that will keep you in survival mode all the time. Practice not taking yourself so seriously when you're feeling that way. There's a chance you'll say to yourself, there goes my silly brain again. Keep in mind that your brain is merely attempting to assist you. It's searching out dopamine rewards that helps you momentarily numb uncomfortable emotions. Practice compassion for yourself and the coping mechanisms you've developed to get through challenging circumstances. Keep in mind that failure is a necessary step in the process. It is, in fact, the world's best teacher. According to researcher Carol Dweck, some people have fixed mindsets and think that their intelligence and abilities are intrinsic and limited. Another mindset is one of growth. They think they can develop as they go along and learn new things. The latter group is substantially tougher. They view mistakes as an opportunity to grow. It's crucial to have a growth mentality and see everything as a chance for improvement when you're trying to break bad habits. Did you overeat after eating well for weeks? Good. Now your brain has a helpful recollection of how much better eating well made you feel. Are your previous habits making you antsy and frustrated? Wonderful. It demonstrates how hungry you are for change. 6. Your anxiety-busting superpower is curiosity. Children are renowned for going through a time where they question everything they see around them. They are innately interested in everything they perceive. However, as we get older, we start to limit our interest to filling in the blanks, such as when we're delayed in traffic and need to know how long it will be before it clears. Deprivation curiosity is the need for specific knowledge that we are lacking. Interest-based curiosity is described as unbridled curiosity about anything and everything. We need to foster this kind. Curiosity fueled by interests is the desire to study new things without having any particular objectives in mind. It's a broad perspective that keeps you focused on the specifics of what's going on in the world. It also aids in memory retention for fresh knowledge. Breaking worried habit loops requires developing your natural curiosity. Try letting out a loud HMMM sound the next time you're feeling anxious. That action will immediately pique your curiosity and cause you to wonder, what's going on here? Additionally, it could make you feel a little silly, which is advantageous. Playfulness and curiosity go well together. Even good changes might be exceedingly difficult to implement. Your survival brain may start to panic as you begin to break previous behaviors due to this unfamiliar, foreign terrain. Curiosity enters the picture at this point. Instead of succumbing to the tension, adopt a curious mentality and pay attention to your physical feelings. Compared to the constant state of anxiety you were previously in, it is significantly more fulfilling. 7. Take each day at a time to cultivate anxiety sobriety. You will only feel more anxious in the present if you consider how to break your worrying habit loops in the future. Instead, you could ask yourself, can I practice mindfulness today and develop curiosity? Or within the hour, remind yourself that you have acquired crucial tools to support you in breaking challenging behaviors whenever you feel yourself getting uncomfortable or wondering how you'll make it through even one day. Have confidence in your own skills and resiliency. The best way to deal with an anxiety loop in the moment is actually to lean into it. This process can be explained using the RAIN system. First, you recognize the difficult feelings that are arising. Next, you consciously accept them and allow them to be there. Then you investigate the sensations in your body and the emotions bubbling up. And lastly, you note what's going on and simply observe yourself in the process. RAIN uses your curiosity superpower to help your brain transition out of its anxious, panicky state. You may bring in a greater, better incentive like inquiry, generosity, or even just laughing at yourself rather than getting sucked into the loop of despair. You don't have to think about how to do that indefinitely or even for an entire day. Are you capable of becoming intrigued about your feelings and sensations right now, at this instant? Good. Your anxiety recovery has started. Thanks for watching the video. When you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. See you next time.